I use a brush to apply polishing slurry to the lap or to the mirror when I work. These are what the brushes look like. This brush comes with metal ferrule that I take off because it rusts. So I don't want rust to contaminate my slurry. So I take the metal off and I use vinyl tape to tape the bristles to the handle. I put 2 heaping teaspoons of cerium oxide into a jar. Fill the jar with water, shake it up real good, let it settle for several hours. It'll settle down to a sediment on the bottom. I pour off almost all the water. I leave the cerium covered by about 15 or 20 millimeters of water on the bottom. That's a little hard for you to see now down here because I've been using this jar a bit, and there's cerium on the inside of the surface of the jar. But there is some clear water down there. And what I do in order to apply water or cerium oxide is dependent on what I want. If I want only water, I can tilt the jar over and dip the bristles only into the water and not pick up much cerium oxide at all, and apply water like that to the lap. Now I'm not going to spread that all over. If I was working, I might just bring the tool off center and paint one side and then take it off the other way, because it'll go into the channels and spread around evenly over the mirror just by stroking. If I want more cerium, I'll dip the brush into the jar and dip one corner into the sediment on the bottom, and maybe dip the other corner into the water. Now that's really thick on the end there, so I'm going to even shake some of that off in the water because I don't want that much cerium on the lap. Now I got thick cerium over here and water in the bristles, so if I want more cerium or than water, I can touch down with this on facets. If I want more water, I can dip this side. Now that's thinner. You might not see that in the image, but this is much thinner right here. Than this is actually piled up, cerium piled up over here. You can see I can brush that out and it's still pretty thick, where this will probably look thinner as I spread it out. So that gives you control over how much you put on the work. Now this is a whole lot more than I would ever put on there just to be polishing. I might put this much on for before pressing a lap that is already broken in. If I'm pouring a new lap, I want to put a very thick layer on the mirror so that when I put it onto the raw pitch, that it doesn't stick. So I tilt the jar and I'll dip directly into the sediment at the bottom and pick up a very thick paste, and then I can paint that onto the mirror, and it's very thick, about the consistency of a thick paint. I can cover the whole surface, and when I put that face down onto the pitch lap, there won't be any bare glass to stick to the pitch lap. So you see, I have a whole lot of control by using a brush. I can take the excess that's in the brush, shake it out in the water to be used again at a later time. It's kind of just like what you do with paint, maybe, is you would squeeze the brush out a little bit on the edge of the jar, shake it in the water, get that cerium oxide out of there, because you can use it later. So that's how you use a brush. Gives you great control. Keep in mind that this is a lot more. About this much cerium oxide, either right here or right here, is what I would add if I were already polishing, and I decided I needed some more as I was working. Something about like what's on these 3 squares or this area right here is about all I would add at one time when I'm actually working. Now I might take the brush and brush it across the mirror so it's more evenly distributed, but that right there is enough to keep you going for maybe 20 minutes.